He lives in the reflection. It began with the bathroom mirror. At first, it was small things, barely noticeable. Clara would brush her teeth and think, just for a second, that her reflection lingered when she turned away. She told herself it was imagination, a trick of the light, a glitch in perception. But the feeling didn't go away. If anything, it grew stronger. Her apartment was small and dimly lit, the kind of place that always felt like twilight, even at noon. She had moved there after her grandmother died and left her the old building. Clara hadn't known her well, but she needed a place to live, and free rent was free rent. The first real incident happened on a Wednesday night. Clara stood at the sink, rinsing her face, and glanced at the mirror. Her reflection was smiling, but Clara wasn't. She froze, water dripped from her chin and hands, splashing into the porcelain basin, but the face in the mirror just stood there, smiling, staring, its eyes slightly too wide, its mouth curling in a grin that didn't belong to her. Then, in a blink, it was normal. Her reflection matched her again, and Clara stepped back, trembling. She didn't sleep that night. The next morning, she covered the mirror with a towel. Maybe she was losing her mind. Stress, maybe. Lack of sleep. Too many horror movies growing up. She didn't tell anyone. What would she say? My reflection doesn't act like me. A few days later, the towel was on the floor. She was sure she hadn't touched it. She avoided the mirror anyway, didn't look directly at it, but she could feel the thing inside watching her, studying her, learning. On Friday, she caught it blinking when she didn't. It blinked, once slowly, while she rubbed lotion on her arms. She hadn't blinked at all. She dropped the bottle and ran out of the room. That night, she drank herself into sleep. The next morning, she woke up to find her phone on the bathroom sink. It was open to the camera app, the selfie lens, and in the background of the last photo, a blurry silhouette in the mirror, staring directly at the camera. She hadn't taken that photo. Terrified, she contacted her friend Leo, who dabbled in the paranormal. He laughed at first, but when she showed him the picture, his face turned serious. "This isn't just a haunting," he said. "This is a mimic." "A what?" "A reflection entity. Some people call them mirror men or silvers. They watch from inside reflections, waiting for a chance to replace someone." "Replace?" "They learn everything. The way you move, speak, smile. They mirror you until they're almost perfect. Then, if you let them, they come through." Clara swallowed. "Come through," he nodded, "into our world, usually during a ritual, but sometimes, if the veil is weak, they don't need help. They just need an invitation." "I didn't invite anything." "Are you sure?" Leo asked gently. "Did you ever say something like, 'I wish I could trade places,' or 'I hate myself'?" "That's enough sometimes. Mirrors are sensitive to intent." Clara's mouth went dry. She remembered something. That night, weeks ago, drunk and crying, she had stood in front of the mirror before covering it. She had whispered, "I wish I was anyone else." Leo leaned forward. "You may have opened the door. Now you have to close it." They planned a cleansing. Candles, salt, mirrors turned to the walls. Leo brought obsidian stones, a protection crystal, and a small silver bell. "It responds to sound," he said. "It hates being seen for what it is." The ritual started at midnight. The air in the apartment felt thick, like molasses. Shadows curled around corners, and even the light seemed hesitant. Clara stood before the mirror, now uncovered, her reflection waiting. It smiled, but Clara did not. Leo began chanting. Clara felt a pressure build in her skull, like something was trying to push its way out. Her reflection began to twitch, subtly at first, then violently. Its head jerked, its eyes rolled back, its mouth stretched too wide, far wider than humanly possible. Then the glass rippled. The reflection stepped forward. Clara screamed. Leo rang the bell furiously, shouting in Latin. The reflection's hand pushed against the inside of the mirror, palm first, pressing so hard that cracks began to spiderweb across the surface. "I'm not letting you in," Clara shouted, but the thing just smiled. Then the mirror shattered. A shockwave of cold air exploded outward, blowing out the candles. Darkness swallowed the room. When the lights came back on, Leo was on the floor, unconscious. The mirror was intact, whole, not a single crack. But Clara's reflection was gone. No matter where she moved, the mirror remained dark, blank, like it was watching but refusing to be seen. Leo recovered, dazed. "It didn't come through," he said, "but it's closer now." That night, Clara heard whispers from the bathroom, scraping sounds like nails on glass. She locked the door and slept with the lights on. Then, one morning, she saw herself in the kitchen window. She wasn't near it. She stood at the counter, and in the window her reflection smiled, waved, then disappeared. The thing was moving. It was no longer just in the mirror, it was in any reflective surface, TV screens, puddles, her phone when it blacked out, elevator doors. It followed her everywhere. One day, she walked past a store window downtown, and her reflection didn't walk with her. It stood still, watching, as if waiting for something. Clara stopped looking into any surface. She covered her mirrors, taped over windows, kept her phone face down. But the thing found other ways. It appeared in her dreams. In her sleep, she saw herself standing at the foot of her bed, grinning, saying nothing, just watching, as if biding its time. Clara reached her breaking point after a week of sleepless nights. She called Leo again. "I can't take this anymore." "There's one last thing," he said, "but it's dangerous." "I don't care." He explained there was an old ritual called the severing. It was ancient and mostly lost, but if done correctly, it could cut the tether between the person and their reflection spirit. But if done wrong, it could trap the real person in the mirror and let the other one out. The ritual required a mirror, blood, and fire. That night, they prepared. Leo drew symbols in chalk and salt, lighting 7 candles in a circle. Clara stood in front of the largest mirror in her home, tall, old, and from her grandmother's bedroom. Clara cut her palm. Let the blood drip onto the surface of the mirror. Leo began to chant, faster, louder. The mirror sizzled where her blood touched it. Then the reflection appeared. It wasn't mimicking anymore. It stood still, eyes glowing faintly white, smile wide and fixed. Clara raised a match. The reflection moved. It slammed its hands against the glass from the inside, violently. Cracks formed again. Leo shouted louder. The air felt electric. Then the reflection screamed. It was an inhuman sound, like metal grinding against bone. Clara touched the flame to the blood, and the glass ignited with blue fire. The reflection began to melt. Its face dripped, warped, stretched, and then it reached through. A hand burst from the mirror, clawed, glistening. It grabbed Clara's wrist, pulled. She screamed. Leo lunged, slicing across her palm again, splashing more blood on the mirror. The hand recoiled, shrieking. Clara stumbled back. The mirror exploded, shards flying in every direction. A gust of cold wind sucked the air from the room. Silence. They waited. Nothing moved. Leo touched her shoulder. "It's over." But Clara didn't answer. She turned to him, slowly, smiling, eyes glowing faintly white. 2 days later, Leo visited Clara's apartment again, unsure of what had happened. The place was pristine, no signs of ritual, no broken mirror. Clara smiled, welcomed him inside, made tea, but she never blinked, never looked away. When Leo excused himself to the bathroom, he washed his hands and glanced in the mirror. His reflection was not alone. Behind him, Clara stood in the doorway. In the mirror, she was grinning, but when he turned around, she was gone. Only silence. He backed away slowly, then saw a note taped to the bathroom mirror, scrawled in Clara's handwriting, "I'm still here. Don't trust her, she's not me." He lives in the reflection, and now so does she. The end.